Hello, sports fans. This is DDM Sports Central, where you get juicy global sporting stories served in a manner that grows your love and interest in sports. Today, we'll be looking at what makes football beautiful: goals. The UEFA Champions League is in the semi-final stage, and there are bound to be goals to get the champion. But then we take a look at the quarterfinal stage, and our focus will be on the top 9 goals of the UEFA Champions League quarterfinal stage of this season, 2024-2025 season. Now, talking about the UEFA Champions League, we know that we had 8 teams in the quarterfinals. But before I give you a lot of the details, I will be taking a short break. So do not move a muscle. We'll be back after this short break. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Like I said earlier, the UEFA Champions League is in its semi-final stage, and the last 4 pairings promises to be exciting, possibly even more exciting than the games in the stages before the last 8. Goals make every football game very exciting, and the quarterfinal produced some memorable moments of brilliance and excitement with some classic goals. 8 teams had qualified for the last 8 phase of the 2024-2025 season of the UEFA Champions League. They were Aston Villa, Paris Saint-Germain, Borussia Dortmund, Arsenal, Real Madrid, Inter Milan, and of course, Bayern Munich. And in the last 8 stage, a total of 31 goals were scored in the quarterfinal stage of this season's UEFA Champions League. With Arsenal surprisingly scoring the most goals, you agree with me that Arsenal didn't really have a top striker. So they scored the most goals, so it's surprising to me. They scored 6 goals, spread equally in both legs when they played Real Madrid. They did not give Real Madrid, who were touted the comeback kings, any room to come back at all, except to stay back at the Bernabeu. But then the first leg had ended 3-0 at the Emirates in favor of Arsenal, while the second leg ended 1-3, with Real Madrid crashing out of the competition in a manner their fans would hurriedly want to forget. They were followed by PSG, who nearly threw away their 2-goal advantage when they played against Aston Villa. They scored 5 goals. In the first leg at the Parc des Princes Stadium, PSG had beaten Aston Villa by 3-1. But the second leg at the Villa Park saw Aston Villa fight back gallantly to defeat PSG 3-2. But unfortunately, the damage had been done in the first leg, so that PSG advanced to the semi-finals on a 5-4 aggregate scoreline. Barcelona also scored 5 goals in the quarterfinal stage as they humbled Borussia Dortmund 4-0 at the Camp Nou in the first leg. And then Dortmund fought hard in the second leg. However, their fight was not good enough to stop Barcelona from advancing to the semi-finals, even with the 3-1 defeat they handed the Catalan Giants, so that Dortmund lost 3-5 on aggregate to exit this season's UEFA Champions League. Inter Milan were able to squeeze through to the semi-finals of the UEFA Champions League, and the Italian team shocked Bayern Munich 2-1 before their home fans at the Munich Stadium in Germany, where the final will take place. Anyways, the German side, however, showed that they could bite as they fought so well in the second leg to end a 2-2 draw at the San Siro, a feat not many would have thought possible, including myself, given the formidable nature of the Italian side. Bayern exited on a 3-2 aggregate scoreline in favor of the Italians and would have to try again in next season's UEFA Champions League. So we have Arsenal taking on PSG and Barcelona taking on Inter Milan in the semi-finals, which will come alive on the 28th and 29th of April for the first leg games, and on the 6th and 7th of May for the second leg games. So the world of football fans awaits these 4 coaches of the remaining football teams. Coach Luis Enrique of PSG, Coach Mikel Arteta of Arsenal, Coach Hans Flick of Barcelona, and Coach Simone Inzaghi of Inter Milan. What they have to bring to the pitch in the semi-finals for more goals, classic ones at that, to be scored, so that fans will know which teams will qualify for the finals of this season's UEFA Champions League. So on this edition, we will take a short trip into the top 9 goals of the quarterfinal games of this season's UEFA Champions League in no particular order for me. At number 1, we have Declan Rice of Arsenal with his superb free kick, which gave Arsenal the lead against Real Madrid in the first leg of their quarterfinal game. The free kick was taken from approximately 25.9 meters out in the 58th minute of the game after Saka had drawn a foul. At number 2, Declan Rice comes in again with his second free kick of the same game. The second free kick goal in the UEFA Champions League for himself and for Arsenal. And then it was Arsenal's second goal in the 3-0 bashing of Real Madrid. It came in the 70th minute of the game. This one was from even a slight 4.1 meters further from goal than the first free kick. At number 3, Mikel Merino's goal against Real Madrid in the first leg, which was Arsenal's third in the 3-0 routing of Real Madrid at the Emirates. Arsenal just had the best goals in the quarterfinal stage. Merino scored in the 75th minute from a well-laid pass from Lewis Kelly to complete the route. At number 4, Lautaro Martinez's goal for Inter Milan in their first leg 2-1 away win against Bayern Munich at the Munich Stadium in Germany. The goal was scored in the 38th minute of the game after Marcus Thuram's beautiful flick of an assist saw him with enough space to bend the ball with his outside right foot and into the top right corner of Bayern's net. At number 5, Desire Doué's equalizer in the first leg game against Aston Villa just before halftime was another beauty of the goal in the quarterfinal first leg game between PSG and Aston Villa at Parc des Princes in France. Though it powered home a superb curler with inside of his right foot to give back confidence to his team, who were stunned in the 36th minute by visiting Aston Villa. At number 6, we have Kvicha Kvaratskhelia, who scored also against Aston Villa. Kvaratskhelia, no vex, I know that they tried. It was the team's second goal in the game, which they won 3-1. It was the beauty of the goal. He sent 2 of Aston Villa's defenders into confusion before releasing a superb shot from his left foot to the roof of the Villa net. At number 7, John McGinn equalizer for Aston Villa against PSG in the second leg quarterfinal game. He released a powerful shot from just a little outside the 18-yard area to give the Villa fans hope of a possible comeback. At number 8, Hendry Konsa's goal for Aston Villa against PSG in the second leg quarterfinal fixture. It was from a beautiful cutback from Marcus Rashford, and Konsa calmly slotted the ball into the back of the net. At number 9, we have Gabriel Martinelli's goal against Real Madrid in their second leg quarterfinal game. He scored the goal in the 93rd minute to seal victory for Arsenal and break the hearts of Madrid fans who looked dumbfounded in the game. They hoped their team, Real Madrid, would come back and take back as king. But no, the hope was dashed on the night. And so with these 9 goals, I hope we hope to see more goals in the semi-final and very classy ones at that. We will be leaving you with clips of these 9 goals, these top 9 goals in the quarterfinal stage of the UEFA Champions League. I hope you enjoyed today's edition of DDM Sports Central. And before I forget, it's even going to be a Barcelona versus Arsenal game in the UEFA Champions League final in the women's category. So would it be a similar thing in the finals for the men's category? We wait to find out. Our prophet Ibrahim already prophesied that there is going to be an Arsenal versus Barcelona final. His prediction has worked on the female side. So let's see whether that same prediction will come to the male side. I hope you enjoyed everything that we have brought to you for your viewing pleasure on today's edition of DDM Sports Central. Do not forget to like, share, and comment on this edition and on previous editions of DDM Sports Central. You can also give us your own what you feel like the top 5 or top 9 or top 10 goals, or where you feel we made a mistake in the rankings of the top goals. You can let us know. We are open to get your own comments. Do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Diaspora Digital Media. Follow us on Twitter and on Instagram at Diaspora DM. And on all social media handles, we are Diaspora Digital. social media. Until we come your way again with another edition of VDM Sports Central, I remain your host, Peter Sparks. Ugochukwu, do have a lovely and sporty day.